Hey everyone, welcome back to Sinner, Sacrifice for Redemption. We've made it this far. There's only one avatar of sin left to fight. It's probably the worst one, and it also has the worst sacrifice. So let's get it over with. Whatever boss you fight last, you have none of your special abilities, and in this case, we have lost our armor, so we take more damage from everything, and we no longer have auto-healing. Once again, let's see what the spirit that may or may not be Chanel has to say about this boss. Nothing as far as I can tell, just yet another generic line. I'm sure my first time through the game she said something about the specific bosses, but again, probably once you've heard a line, it will never play for you again. So let's not worry about it and just get on with defeating the boss that has resulted from all of this wrath. So just looking at this room, you can probably tell what the biggest threat is going to be here. On the other hand, this boss may surprise you, or again, if you've played games like Dark Souls 2, it might not. This is your big guy who stands in lava and throws stuff at you. Sometimes he just doesn't do the attacks that allow you to damage him at all. I don't know how much randomness there really is involved, but yeah, he's just throwing all of the fiery stuff he's got at me here. Fireballs that leave pools of lava that will continue to damage you if you fall into them. Well, there's an attack where I could potentially have damaged him at least. That one doesn't give you enough time. And I usually manage to dodge that punch. The lack of auto-healing really hurts here, because this is the fight where it would probably be of the most benefit. And, you know, all these times when I can't do anything to hurt him, I could be recovering health. But no, instead I'm just sitting here like a chump, dodging everything he throws as best I can. And then he makes part of the ledge crumble. Normally he doesn't do this until you've at least done some damage to him. It appears that perhaps I have done some damage. And again, I can't get out of the way of his fist in time. Let's just try that again. It seems you can do a tiny amount of damage to him by knocking the swords that he shoots into the platform back at him. But again, I can be really close to him. And aside from getting grabbed by his fist and just utterly pummeled, it doesn't seem to lure him into using his fist attacks, which is the only time I can really do anything to him. He's just gonna keep throwing all this stuff around. So I figure, okay, fine. I will induce him to break the ground early by running away far enough that he can't touch me. I'm not really trying to knock the weapons into him as such. If I do, that's nice, but mostly I'm trying to get them out of the way so that I've got room to dodge when he does stuff like this. I don't know what's wrong with me. That's 3 punches in a row that have hit me. Normally, I'm really good at dodging them. And again, he breaks the ledge way before he's supposed to. Something's wrong with this fight. So let's see if we can maybe get a pattern that actually allows me to fight this guy. There we go. This attack is really good. Although, with the Blades of Gluttony, I only seem to manage to get in one hit. You can't dodge to the left, either. I've never, ever managed to dodge one of those punches by rolling to the left. It's always right. You could be right at the very right edge of the ledge. You've still got to roll to the right to dodge it. I'll get better. Somehow I will. I mean, this video has an end. You can see that. That was just me being careless. And that's how you dodge the fist. And then, yeah, you just smack the hand with everything you've got. I'd say don't worry about getting exhausted. That is much less of a threat than failing to do enough damage. Although running right into his fists is not going to help. This is the first fight where you technically do have just a limited amount of HP. You can't dodge and wait to recover. I'm pretty sure you actually do more damage when you hit a hand after removing the armor from it, but at these amounts it's really tough to say. One thing I would have loved to see them bring in from Dark Souls was the pop-up numbers telling you how much damage each hit does. Then you'd actually be able to tell things like how much damage you're actually doing to the boss. How many hits is it going to take from this weapon, and which weapon is doing more damage than the others? I don't know how I managed to dodge that one. But I like seeing this many fist attacks, so I'm actually able to do some damage here. And he's breaking the ledge again. This time I will retreat to a safe distance, although I get a nasty knock on the head from one of his swords. That's the big problem with this fight, is there are so many different elements that are active all at once. I don't think there's a good way to deal with all of them. But I'm actually getting somewhere this time, and now he's finally giving me a chance at his right fist. Not that I really care, you know, as long as I'm hitting either fist, I'm doing damage, and I think there my run button just didn't activate in time. But we're getting close to the end, which is not necessarily a good thing, but I don't imagine it's possible to actually kill him before he destroys the whole platform. Trying to lure those lava balls into places where they're not gonna get in my way. There aren't very many such places at this point. And with the fiery add-ons, I think the best thing to do is just kind of run right through the middle of them, let them all self-destruct, and try not to get too hung up on the swords. But this is it. This is the platform that we get to fight on for the rest of the fight. I don't know whether the javelins are actually going to do us any good or not. But when I'm out of healing, I might as well switch to them. I'm not sure I could have dodged that even if I had seen it coming. And this is another boss where the lock-on is probably going to hurt you more than it helps. Again, it's likely I shouldn't stay that far back, just trying to encourage some more fist attacks. Although I've actually got to be prepared to dodge them. But it can be a good idea to stay far away from him when he's using the lava ball. Sword kind of got in my way there. But when he's spewing lava all over the place, you can try to lure him to throw that far away from him, and then that'll give you room to maneuver up close where you can actually do some damage. At the very least, I've got a nice wide open space on the left. And he crumbles the final part of the ledge. I'm doing really well. I mean, this is about how much damage you want to have left on him when you get to the very end. And I switched to the Blades of Gluttony very briefly, thinking that I might be able to do more damage. And then I got caught on a sword. But I want to stick with a straight sword in this fight because he throws swords everywhere and I'm going to have to knock them away in order to damage him. And have room to dodge for myself. Got a little careless there, but fortunately it doesn't do too much damage. The big problem is that in this fight, again, even tiny amounts of damage will start to add up because I don't heal from them automatically. Getting some decent combos off, at least. If you watch carefully, I'm sure you can tell whether he's going to do a sweep afterwards. But it's tough to distinguish and be ready to dodge whatever attack it is he's throwing out there. Good to see that many fist attacks early on in the fight, though. That time I knew it was coming. And again, going for some of those charge attacks when I've got the time for it. I think that's about the maximum amount of damage you can do before he starts destroying the ledge. And then I figured I would actually lock on and attempt to hit him with some spears, but they just hit the edge of the platform instead. Not very productive. And that's both gauntlets. Probably would be a good idea to run up and whack those swords, but I didn't notice that they do any damage to him until after I had finished the video while I was editing. I think I'm doing surprisingly well, though, once the run actually kicks in. I don't think I would be too surprised if he just immediately starts breaking the next ledge, because he's down to half health. But now he has to do a couple of attacks first. I don't know whether I got too close there, or whether he just hit one of the swords into me and I didn't get to attack. But yeah, we're done with this section. And again, unable to run, I can only roll frenetically. I did manage to roll right into a sword there, but it was either that or get punched off the ledge. Doing alright, got plenty of heals left. And now's about the time to break the last part of the ledge. And I think I have this one in the bag. Those tiny amounts of damage if I can manage to hit his arms with the lightning spears. And then I dodged the wrong direction. That fire beam is probably one of his worst attacks. Fortunately, he doesn't use it all that often, but if you get caught, it will throw you a long way, and not usually throw you off the ledge, I don't think, but you're gonna lose most of your health from it. I did not have anywhere to go that time. Or that time. This is why you need to clear out the swords, even if you're not damaging them with them. because they will get in the way of your ability to roll out of pretty much anything. And I guess I hit the roll button one time too many. I used to be really good at dodging those fists. But I believe this is going to be the final run. Again, trying to stay in close and lure as many of those fist attacks as I possibly can early on, so that I can deal with as many as possible while I still have space to dodge. And he gives a surprisingly long time to capitalize on some of these attacks. Not that I'm complaining. Yeah, it seems like about the right amount of damage to have done. And again, not going to target him, just gonna hurl those spears in his direction and hope some of them hit. It would be nice if you could say hit his helmet, but I don't think that's possible. And I'm going to guess that the fire bombs are just not going to do anything to him. But it took me a little longer than usual to recognize that he was about to break the ledge. I did escape just in time, though. I think the first thing he always seems to do after breaking part of the ledge is to summon more swords. Which might be intended to give you a chance to damage him. Or it might just be he's trying to box you in. So he's got to break the ledge now. And my run works for once. You really have to know how much of the ledge is going to crumble at any time, because you want to stay close to the edge, just, again, to lure more of those fist attacks at you. Maybe that's why he always does the swords first, to give you time to get in the right position. And this time he did double swords. So there's a whole forest of them over here. I'm not going to worry about that too much yet. Alright, so he's got his little fiery men here. They'll all jump on top of me. Try to leave myself a path to get back close to him without having to run through the lava. And I just noticed that was my first heal this time. So health-wise, I'm in good shape. It's just falling off the ledge that's going to be my worry this time. And he's practically dead already. There we go, got him once as he was hitting the platform. Just get rid of all of those. Don't need them. I'm not sure whether rolling away from the swords is ever a very good idea. And it seemed kind of anticlimactic, but that was the fight. I guess the secret is just do that much damage before he breaks the final part of the ledge and you're done. And with all 7 avatars of sin defeated, this thing rises up out of that pool in the center, even before the black stuff gets to the pool. Still don't know what that is, if that's supposed to be blood, water, liquefied sin. I'm frantically mashing the talk button here. She does not respond. And I spent a long time messing around with settings menu and control settings. It gives you a prompt, and she does not respond. The first time I played this, I'm sure she said something about not being able to help me anymore now that I've defeated all the avatars. Figured maybe if I go back to one of the stones and activate it, she might say something, but she doesn't. And the trigger works, because I can swap weapons. And in fact, I'm going to want the greatsword for the final boss, but... yeah, she just doesn't respond to anything that I do. Well, one more way that this game is just utterly broken. And next time, we'll take on the final boss, Adam, which is also supposedly the name of the main character, even though it's never stated in game as far as I know. I'll see you for that next time.